What's your question?
First, thank you so much for taking my call.
Thanks for calling.
I'm 39 years old. I'm 5'8" and 175 pounds, and I'm a very active person. Right now, I'm training for my third marathon.
Oh, Lord.
And in between my training runs, I do spin classes, Pilates, and weight training as well. I also follow a weight loss plan, but my weight loss has stalled over the past year or so, and I'm trying to tweak my diet in such a way that I can lose weight but still have the energy and the nutrients I need in order to train really hard. I'm wondering if you could give me some advice on how I can kind of jumpstart, get back into losing weight, but still have all that energy.
This is tough because you're sending your body conflicting messages because you're training it, like a crazy athlete, and what the body requires when you do that is nutrients. The body essentially is like, hey, listen, you're putting me through a train wreck every single day. It's like a car crash on your body, and your body's like, I need to repair. I need to repair my muscles. I'm all beat up. And when you're decreasing the amount of energy and most likely the amount of nutrients due to the decreased amount of food, your body is not going to appreciate that. Let's just put it that way. So okay. my first question is, you said you're 5'9"?
5'8".
You're 5'8" and you're 175 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you want to be?
Well, I know based on my BMI, I'm about just over 10 pounds overweight.
BMI is such a load of crap, though. That's such an antiquated model. According to the body mass index, Arnold Schwarzenegger's obese. So you can't really utilize that. A better ratio would be the waist to hip ratio, and you can Google that formula online. That's far more accurate and telling than BMI. But I mean, it doesn't take a genius to look in the mirror and say, okay, here's where I'm at. Here's how much I need to lose. Has your doctor made a suggestion on how much you need to lose? What is your goal here? I want to determine whether you're insane or what's going on. Because I'm not saying, if you said to me, oh, I'm petite and I'd like to lose 20 pounds, I'd say like, okay, 5'8", 155, that's fine. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, well, I'm not tiny, and I realize that I'm never going to be a size 0, even if I was a skeleton. I'm built like a machine.
Right.
So I'm kind of trying to go with that.
Good, as you should be. And embracing your body type, absolutely. So where does that put us then, buddy?
Realistically, I think that I probably shouldn't go lower than, probably 155.
Okay.
I think that's a safe place for me that I can maintain and have good muscle mass.
Okay. I'm going to do a little math in my head right now. I'm pretty thick, so to speak, very muscular, thick bones. I got giant feet for a tiny little person. I have like monkey feet. My feet are like 8.5. I'm about 115 at my most fit. If I get anything below that, I start to look like I'm 100 years old. I do. My face gets all gaunt, and my dermatologist starts getting all needle happy, wanting to stick crap in there. I'm like, I don't know, buddy. I think I'll just eat a piece of pizza. Yeah, not kidding. I'm being honest. So, I have no boobs when I get below that way. It's not hot. So 115 is really the limit.
Eat the damn pizza,
yeah,
Julian.
It gets bad. Just saying. So if you figure for every inch you throw on 5 pounds for a woman of a similar type of build, we're talking 5 pounds times 5 is 25. 140. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I'm fine with you saying 155. I'm fine with that. Now, you're talking about 20 pounds. That's for your body. Your body is interpreting that as vanity pounds because you don't sound unhealthy. You're working out all the time. So I think the chances of us checking your cholesterol and, it being egregious and high, or your doctor saying, oh my God, you've got hypertension or high blood pressure or diabetes or you're pre-diabetic, we're not going to hear that. Have you ever heard anything like that? Most likely not now, right?
No, I've had a full range of blood work done by my doctor, and she says everything looks fantastic.
There you go. You're
Nothing
fantastically healthy, okay? So now we've got a woman that's fantastically healthy, but she wants to drop 20 pounds. Your body doesn't want to drop that 20 pounds. It's like, yo, Jennifer, I'm fantastically healthy. Leave me alone. And it wants a little bit of body fat on because we as women, first of all, we as human beings like to have a little bit of reserve of body fat. Keep in mind, we've evolved over thousands of years for survival purposes. We want it in case there's a period of famine. Our genetics haven't caught up to the fact that, we have fast food restaurants on every corner in this country. So your body is like, I could bear a kid right now. I got a little bit in the reserve. I'm perfectly healthy. Vanity pounds are a totally different ballgame. The answer is that whenever, to your question, whenever you create a significant calorie deficit, when you don't have an unhealthy amount of weight to lose, or when you have, in other words, what I'm saying is 50 pounds, 100 pounds, when your body's not thinking, get this stuff off of me, it's killing me, it becomes a very different animal. If you want to get that last 20 off, you're going to need to be patient, and I would make sure that you don't have a calorie deficit of over 500 calories a day. And it's almost like tricking your body of saying, no, we're not starving. These little deficits every single day will help kind of inch that weight off. And I find that it's like you sort of sneak it past your survival mechanisms. I know that sounds crazy, but I wrote a whole book about it called Making the Cut, and it's very complicated, very, very difficult to do, and a lot harder than taking off 50 to 100 pounds. So that's the simple answer, though, in a nutshell, is you're probably creating a deficit that's way too high. So I would imagine, how often are you working out in a day?
I usually work out twice. Like I'll do a class at the gym at lunch, and then I'll run at night.
Oh, for God's sake. So you're probably putting in an hour and a half to 2 hours a day.
Probably, yeah.
All right, and so I would imagine that you're burning somewhere around 3,000 calories. I mean, if you did 1,000 in those workouts, those two workouts, and then you've got the afterburn effect of those workouts, and then your daily activity, and then your basal metabolic rate, the whole thing's probably looking somewhere around 3,000 calories a day. How many calories are you eating in a day?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'd probably say in the 2,000 range, 1,500 to 2,000.
Okay, 1,500, you're creating a 1,500 calorie a day deficit. And that's great, but that's for somebody that needs to lose 50 pounds. So I would get that to like 500 calories a day, 700 calories a day. I'd cut out you don't need the second workout session. You're overdoing it there, kid.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't need it. I would get in one good hour a day, 5 to 6 times a week, and I would make sure that you're eating to the point where you have a 500 calorie a day deficit, and that should do the trick for you. And then, in addition to supporting your body while it's trying to perform, the quality of your foods are going to be critical, because your body's going to be doing what's called calorie partitioning. So we're telling it to take the nutrients that you're ingesting and repair the damage you're doing to your muscles when you're exercising. So make sure that you're not eating processed foods and garbage. Make sure you're eating quality foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins. Give your body quality fuel and nutrients to essentially fuel you during these workouts, and then repair and recover what you've done, the damage you've done during your workouts. And it's not a bad idea to supplement. I'm huge into supplementation for many reasons, one of which is because I don't eat a varied enough diet. It's like, I have my favorites, and that's what I consume every day. You're not thinking, gosh, did I get selenium in my diet today? I wonder if I had sunflower seeds. You're not thinking about that. So a quality multivitamin is going to make up for a lack of variety in your diet if you're possibly reducing calories and you're not getting the amount of food, so you don't have to overeat to get those nutrients. And then in addition, our soil, if you're not going all organic all the time, our soil has been so depleted. Food gets its nutrients from soil. And if the soil is depleted and the soil is being killed with, synthetic fertilizer and pesticides, or it's been farmed too often, it's depleted. Your fruits and vegetables are not going to have that kind of nutrients in it. Our livestock, unless they're organic, are not eating quality foods to give them. Like, for example, a corn-fed cow has very little omega-3 healthy fat in it, but you feed a cow organic alfalfa, and it's loaded with omega-3, which is great for heart health. So the quality of your food has been depleted due to the way we are producing it these days. Again, like I said, unless you're all organic all the time. And even still, a solid multivitamin can make a real big difference. So I also recommend getting that in your regimen as well.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
All right, buddy. Just take it easy. Don't overdo it. Take the day off, for God's sake.
Hard.
And why don't you learn how to fly, too, Jennifer? I think add that in.
Well, if I had wings. That's what I could do.
If we all had wings.
That's next on the list.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Bye.